Hey everybody, it's Julia Pierce with Plumline Productions, and I have a story surrounding the Muscogee County Jail in Columbus, Georgia. You're going to want to stick around and watch this because we all have been told that Sheriff Greg Countryman inherited the plumbing, mold, and shower repair issue since he took office. But I remember in 2019 that there was an emergency purchase made for those repairs in the jail under Sheriff Donna Tompkins. So I just recently performed an open records request for all of that information. And you guys are going to find this information very interesting, as there was a little over $1 million that were approved for those repairs. And most of those repairs were already done before Sheriff Countryman took office, or shall I say allegedly done. And then supposedly the rest of the repairs in the South Tower were allegedly made in 2022. So the question is, why is Sheriff Greg Countryman telling everyone, including council, the mayor, the citizens, that there was a need to bring in an investigative team and do these repairs to the jail as of March of 2024, when $1 million to a company from Warner Robins called CT Bone were already made? So as I show you guys some of the more important pieces of documentation that I received through my open records request, I want you to keep in mind that most of the people that were involved in these alleged repairs are going to be shown through some of that documentation. But it looks as though there are at least 200 and something people that have seen my open request email thread back and forth between the finance director, the paralegal to the city attorney, and the city attorney, which in most cases shows me that there may be some sort of attempt to figure out how to give me what I'm requesting. Additionally, I was returned some of the information and then told that a lot of the 2019 documents that they were unable to give me were destroyed. Now, I know that there is a retention policy for documents at the government level, but if you said that you destroyed the rest of the 2019 documents, and we have payments and work done as of 2021 and 2022, then where are the rest of the documents for 2020, 2021, and 2022 up to at least June, which is when I see one of the last payments made to this company. I additionally found it a little interesting that the company that these last payments in June were made to supposedly went out of business in early 2022. And I'll be showing you where their assets were liquidated and an auction was performed in March and April of 2022. So how was the city making a payment to CT Bone in June of 2022 when supposedly they were bankrupt? I also found it interesting that the woman who was part of CT Bone, her name is Elaine, was notarizing her own documentation. And from what I can tell from the Georgia Notary's website, you are not allowed to notarize documentation that has your own name on it or is in your own interest. So I think the question that we really need to be asking is, if these repairs were supposedly made, why are we being told that there have been all of these plumbing, mold, and repair issues that were needed in the jail? And did we really pay $1 million to a company to do nothing? I'm not really sure if this is fraud or misappropriation, but we had a city employee sign off that all of the repairs and services provided were satisfactorily completed. Here's the open records request performed on July 12th for that information that I am providing to you. That request was originally sent to Angelica Alexander, but here you see that Marcia, the paralegal to the city attorney, was the one that sent me this response. And in this response, it basically just says, hey, here's the redacted information that you requested, and the other documentation from 2019 has been destroyed. This is where I responded to Marcia and Tyler, letting them know that I've thoroughly investigated the information they did provide, and here's the documentation that I was missing. And those earlier invoices and documentation were from that 2019 purge, but the most of the rest of those documentation pieces should have been provided. And here's where I documented the date, the invoice, if the check number was provided, and the cost of the check, and then the total of what they provided was the $558,000 that you'll see there. But the total repair as of June 2022 was $1,025,655.26. This is the resolution that I found that says that the city manager approved the emergency contract repairs for the jail. And you can see it's for raising the floor drains, repairing the shower fixtures, mop sink repair, and plumbing leaks in the North Tower. And you'll see here it received the unanimous council approval for the addition to previous repairs, which I was not giving that information for, but you see that this is for the North Tower of the jail. And here was for the approval in 2021 for the South Tower jail repairs, and you see that it had a unanimous approval with Councilor Thomas being absent. But all of these repairs were being taken from the OLA's public safety reserves. And this shows after all repairs are made, $1,025,655.26 would have been paid to this company. Here's a copy of the invoice and the check submitted to CT Bone on June 28, 2022 by Angelica Alexander. And you see my question. How was this company paid in June of 2022 when they went bankrupt and liquidated their assets? And here was the listing that I was telling you guys about, the liquidation. And this last bid was April 1st and April 8th of 2022. This is the Secretary of State's listing showing that Elaine was the CFO, and actually that they dissolved their company in September of 2023. And this is the obituary that I found for CT Bone, which is Clarence Taylor Bone, and you'll see in the highlight area that William, Samuel, and Elaine are his sons and daughter-in-law. This shows as of December 2020, 100% of those repairs in the North Tower were done. There was 12% of it done for the drains and shower, but my question is how can they fix those things if the plumbing wasn't fixed? And you'll see that 0% of that was fixed. So I thought that maybe I could get it all in one video, but I'm gonna have to do two. So y'all stay tuned and check out part 2 of this informational piece.